Hey everybody, and welcome to Bits of Board, where we're talking board games, miniatures, cards, and dice. My name is Michael, and today we finish off our first chapter playthrough of Bloodborne, the board game. This is the exciting conclusion, part one, to the Long Hunt campaign. Now, I gotta say, it all peaked last episode with the arrival of the cleric beast, and we were so lucky to be able to lure him out to the tomb to secure our victory. I can only imagine that all that's left is the hunt of this thing. We have to kill it, we have to. But can we? That is the major question here. You ready to find out? Let's do it. Alright guys and gals, here we are all set up to play the final chapter of the Long Hunt. As you can see, we've already got a bit of a map set up, and we've actually used the same map setup rules as the previous chapter, except we've drawn a different tile for our connecting piece between the central tile and the Tomb of Odin. And this one here has brought us a huntsman's minion. Here we have our hunt board. We have the same three enemies that we've been fighting all chapter here. And once again, we've mixed up their forms, so we may have different moves for these guys as we go throughout. That's pretty cool. And then we have our old pals, the Saw Cleaver Hunter and Ludwig's Holy Blade Hunter, ready to take on this adventure. Now, last chapter for trapping the Cleric Beast, we were granted a free Blood Echo that we could give to one of our hunters. So I gave it to our Saw Cleaver Hunter, and they gained a Bloodthirsty status card. So you might see another one of those popping up in their deck as we play. The Saw Cleaver Hunter has the Ludwig's Rifle equipped, the Bloodstone Shard equipped in their Quick Cut slot, and they also have the Messenger's Gift, the Formless Odin, and the Claw Mark. Ludwig still has her Evelyn, and we're set up to be playing with the Eye, the Moon, the Hand Lantern, and Yosefka's Blood Vial. That said, we are all ready to go. Start of the hunt, we'll be revealing card number 40, and oh my goodness, we are spawning the Cleric Beast immediately here, and we're going to win this whole hunt by killing him, so that's, at least we know that going into it. Let's go ahead and reveal card number 41, and then we'll set up for him on the map. Alright, so we've got the card contained here. Basically, hunters aren't able to enter the Tomb of Odin. When the hunters have collected at least 2 insight, or the second red space of the hunt track is reached, we reveal cards 42 and 43. So we're going to have to get exploring here if we want to move on. Let's place a little reminder marker on that second red space, and we spawn the Cleric Beast. Now, of course, that means we're going to be placing a fog gate and a broken tile token, but that is our quarry for this chapter. All that settled, let's begin. And I think we're going to go exploring with our Saw Cleaver. We'll go ahead and play a card, and we'll go exploring to the north, which means we're going to be drawing a new tile, and straight away we have Yosefka's Clinic. That is brilliant because, revealing that card, we are one step closer to getting our first insight. Our Chapter 3 missions are pretty much identical to Chapter 2. We need to end a move on Yosefka's Clinic tile to reveal a card. We can end a move on the Great Bridge tile to reveal a card. And we can end a move on the Odin Chapel card to reveal a card. Place our lantern, and we move our Saw Cleaver in. Let's see what this brings us. Alright, so we approach the clinic, but our progression through the story depends on what insight missions we've already completed. For us, we have both Yosefka's Research and Safe Refuge, Yosefka's Clinic, so we're going to be revealing card 46, hopefully. This is a good one. And it turns out that she's been killing all the survivors, or at least performing experiments on them. So we have to decide what to do with her. We can either attack Yosefka, or we can agree to aid her. Now, attacking will probably give us a tough fight, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but I also think that Yosefka's doing kind of good work out there. So let's aid her, see what happens. All right, here we go. We're going to place 1 survivor token on our space, then we're going to move it 4 spaces away. At the end of each turn, it moves 1 space away from the nearest hunter. To capture it, we're going to need to interact with it, and if we ever teleport or head to the dream, we drop it in our space. Okay, so the survivor goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Damn, it is annoyingly in the same location as a huntsman's minion. We could take a damage to gain a third action, then we could chase her and interact with her, but interacting in a space with an enemy causes the enemy to take a free attack against us, and I kind of don't want to do that. So we're going to have to lure him out. I kind of have an idea though. Let's take a damage, grab ourselves a third card, and then we're going to start moving. Now we've got a heal there, which I like. So I'm going to spend those to move, and I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to end the turn. Here, all enemies activate. 1, 2. And before I forget, the survivor is going to move 1 space away from our hunters. The enemy activation is not over though, and this huntsman's minion is going to attack our saw cleaver. Good news though, we're pretty well prepared for this. We'll start by flipping Ludwig's rifle to cause 2 damage against the minion. Then we're going to deal with his attack. We have 1 card left in hand, so we're going to place that down on our quick cut, which has been upgraded a little bit. That in combination with our rallying card means we have a 3 damage attack under our belts here. Enough to make the kill. So let's see what he's got in store for us. And we draw his ability card, which means he's going to be shoulder charging. We've seen this one before. This is kind of an attack that goes off at the slow marker. So because ours is a quick attack, we're actually going to get in first. And yeah, he did. Our saw cleaver gains a blood echo, and after the attack, heals up. And that was a pretty good turn. We move to Ludwig's turn, and we're going to go ahead and chase that survivor. 2 cards for the move. 1, 2, 3. And then 1 card to interact. Here, we capture the survivor and gain a consumable card. Very handy for us. We score a beast blood pellet. This is the consumable that allows us to clear our weapon slot, something that goes very nicely with the current form of our holy blade. So I love that. We are though, for the moment, done. The hunter's minion advances, and so does the mark. Back into it we go. Let's begin with the saw cleaver, and let's see if we can't kill this huntsman's minion. We spend a card to move into his space, and then we attack. Let's begin by throwing our Agile status card into the quick cut. This gives it +1 speed and probably means we're going to get our stagger off here. We draw our enemy card, which is a quick attack with stagger, but because ours is even quicker than quick, ours goes off first. We cancel out his special attack and we deal not 1 but 2 damage thanks to the additional damage provided by the stagger. 2 damage. Let's see if we can't get the other 3 right now. We'll place our unyielding card in our slash, another stagger, but I don't think this one's going to go off. It's okay though, we do get a draw out of it. Draw an enemy action card and it is a basic attack, which means, whoa, he's not actually going to get his attack off here. The minion's basic is the lumbering swing. This is slow, right? So our medium speed attack gets the stagger, but it doesn't matter. We've gotten all 3 points of damage we need. 2 from the slash, 1 from the stagger. We got him good. Another blood echo, and we are just cruising for an upgrade here. Now we have 1 card left in hand, and we could use it to move down to the south and start exploring down there, but I'm thinking we'd better use it to transform our weapon. Back to Ludwig's turn, and let's head back to the clinic to cash in our first insight mission. 2 cards for movement. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We end our move on Yosefka's tile. We have the escaped survivor, and we get it. Further experiments done. We distribute 1 consumable and the Augur of Ebrietas reward amongst the hunters. For our consumable, we gain a bold hunter's mark, an item that allows us to teleport our hunter to lantern spaces. The reward though, well, on our hunter's turn we may deal 2 damage to 1 enemy in your space and move them up to 2 spaces away. That's strong, right? I'm going to give the bold hunter's mark to our saw cleaver, and I'm actually going to swap out the messenger's gift with the Augur of Ebrietas because Well, it kind of deals with enemies. The message's gift prevents them from activating, whereas this one damages them and moves them away. Not bad. That done though. One card left. We're going to spend that to head back to the central lamp tile. We've still got a little more exploring to do yet. We advance the hunter's mark and we're back to it. Let's continue our exploration and check out the tile to our south. The saw cleaver, I'll go ahead and discard our cheap shot, and we're going to draw our next tile. And wouldn't you know it, we are straight onto the Great Bridge, which is exactly where we want to be. This is a very good draw for us, and it means we might be able to start fighting the cleric beast sooner rather than later. Go ahead and set up the tile. We place a hunter's mob and a consumable token. Let's actually go ahead and flip this one right around because I want to keep on moving to the south. So our hunter is going to go 1 and 2. Now we won't go into combat just yet because we've met the requirements for one of our long hunt missions, ending a move on the Great Bridge. So we draw our next insight mission. Here we have to make a check if we have the ominous warnings or surviving the hunt cards. And no, I don't think we do. We're going to be resolving card number 35. And it looks like we're changing our monster encounter here because we have to surround the Great Bridge with fog gates, spawning one huntsman's minion. So let's quickly do that. And making stuff worse, he's got a very unique special attack, immune to pain. So this guy is going to have 1 insight token on him, which means we have to kill him twice. All the usual rules apply though. So let's get into combat. Now, first thing we got to note though is that both of this guy's attacks, the basic and the special, are slow. So as long as we can get in with some staggers, we're going to do okay here. Let's begin. I'm going to throw an unyielding into our slash there. This is going to give us a draw for 1, and an attack that is going to do 2 points of damage. We draw an enemy action card and we have a basic attack. No worries there. Our attack goes off and we stagger. The basic attack does not go off. Now, the next enemy action card is 100% going to be a special because it's the last card left in the deck. So what we're going to do is actually end our turn here. So we activate the huntsman's mob and he attacks. And to get the most out of this, we're going to throw our bloodthirsty down on the heavy carve. We're not going to be able to get the draw and heal though, because we're not going to be able to kill this guy with this attack. But we are lining ourselves up to do 5 points of damage. The minion, as we expected, reveals its special attack, and we come up against his immune to pain, a slow 4 damage attack that's actually going to block 2 points of damage from our attack here. Now, 5 points of damage minus 2, we're still going to get 3 damage, enough to take off his first life, but I'm not too keen on taking that 4 damage there. So we are going to go ahead and use our dodge, placing it in the quick cut slot, which is much quicker than the immune to pain attack. We'll clear the slot and ignore all damage. Damage to us, that is, and we take away the huntsman's minion's first life. 1 to go. Into Ludwig's turn, and we better get her in there. We spend a card to move, joining the fray, and we enter our combat. Before we actually get attacking though, we need to do a little prep work. What I'm thinking is we're going to use our eye rune, going to flip that over to discard a card from our hand, but in doing so, we can return a card from our discard pile to hand. And I'm thinking we're going to take this rapid card because it gives us a draw as well as that clear slot. So what we'll do is we'll throw it down in a slash, gaining a draw, which is a beautiful dodge, and clearing the slot, immediately dealing 1 point of damage to the indomitable huntsman's minion. The attack continues, give it a good shuffle, and then we're going to draw our enemy's response, a basic attack. The basic attack is super slow, so our medium speed slash is going to hit first, and we deal 2 more points of damage. 3 down, 2 to go, but the minions still got to attack back, and that's where this dodge card is going to come so well into play. Now we could essentially put it anywhere, but I'm going to throw it there, and in that, we do 2 things. We clear the slot for another point of damage, and we ignore the attack. Now it's just 1 to go. All that's left is to land what I hope is going to be the final blow, and we'll throw our Bloodthirsty down in that medium slash. 3 damage with a couple of on-kill effects, and our enemy responds with their special. This is the slow immune to pain that's going to block 2 of our damage here. Doesn't matter though, our attack's going to go off first. It deals its 1 remaining point of damage to the minion, and that is all we need. Boom. Our mission's not over though, and we recover a survivor from the space. We place the token on our space in the tile, which our hunters may take with them when they leave the space, with our new objective taking the token back to Yosefka's clinic for protection. Here we can remove our fog tokens, and we'll resolve the effects of our kill. Firstly, we get to draw 1. That'll be handy. And we get to heal. Less handy. We do get a blood echo though, and I think we'll end the turn picking up the lost survivor and taking them back to the central lamp. Ludwig will drop them off next turn. All cards now spent. We hit the end of the round and advance the marker 1 space. Let's go ahead and finish things off with Ludwig. Play our first card to move, 1 and 2. And we drop off our second survivor this chapter. We are really cleaning them up here. For our troubles, we get surviving the hunt. Here we distribute the old hunter's bone reward and the repeating pistol firearm amongst the hunters. And these are just so fantastic. Firstly, the old hunter's bone. When you're attacked, automatically dodge that attack. That is a free dodge that we can use whenever we want. I'm going to definitely give this one to Ludwig's Holy Blade, getting rid of their hand lantern back into the supply. And we also get the repeating blade, which on the surface is exactly the same as Evelyn. When an enemy makes a basic attack, automatically stagger that enemy. What's amazing about this is we flip it over, and to refresh this card, all we have to do is discard a card, or we can refresh for free when we transform our weapon. Now, Ludwig does a lot of transforming. She gets a freebie on one of her side, and she's got a couple of cards in hand that will help. Quick change, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to Evelyn for sure. Such great rewards. Okay, this is where the crap really starts to hit the fan. Guys and gals, that is our second insight token. So we reveal the next 2 cards of our mission. First is Unleashed, and we're going to be removing the contained card from effect and remove the fog gates from around the tomb of Odin. The cleric beast is now free. At the end of each round, if the cleric beast is not in a space with a hunter, it moves 4 spaces towards the nearest hunter with the lowest HP and attacks. Otherwise, it attacks the hunter with the lowest hit points in its space. It is not removed on a red hunt space, but instead heals all damage and removes all insight tokens. Oh no. We also draw the Summon the Pack card. Each time the Cleric Beast flips Recovery, we spawn 1 Scourge Beast in its space. These Scourge Beasts do not respawn. We discard this card if the hunters have or gain the Clearing the Pack card. Oh, I hope we have that. We don't. All right, from there we have 2 cards left, and I'm thinking we go ahead and take just 1 point of damage in Yosefka's clinic to draw a 3rd card. We get a Rallying, which is all well and good, but we're going to spend them all picking stuff up. So what I'm going to do is spend 2 cards to move, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the graveyard I'm going to spend that quick change to pick up our consumable in there. Please be good, please be good. And we get a Numbing Mist. On attack, enemy's attack loses all effects. That's pretty cool too. But that is Ludwig's turn over, and now the end is in sight. We move to our Saw Cleaver, and here we're going to do something very similar to prepare for the big chapter boss. We'll spend a card to grab the consumable here, this time netting a Blood Vial, which provides a heal of 2. That's going to be good. And then we're going to drop our last 2 cards to move off. 1, 2, 3, 4. joining Ludwig in preparation for the beast. We end the round and the mark advances, and so does the cleric beast. He rampages across the map towards our hunters, moving 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No combat here just yet, but I tell you what, things are heating up because not only do we have the cleric beast to deal with now on the map, we have all the other enemies. And we go from this to this. All right, that's the first half done and dusted. Cleric Beast is out of there, and we have got a fight on our hands. As always, tune in tomorrow for the exciting conclusion to this one. Or if you want a reminder, make sure you smash that subscribe button. It really helps. But it's also on tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll remember that. All right, guys, that's it from me. See you tomorrow. Till then, my name's Michael. This is Bits Aboard. We'll catch you next time.